Sunday will be Mother's Day. And for all of us this year, because of COVID-19, we will celebrate Mother's Day differently. Many will not be able to spend any time this Sunday with their moms. And I must say that this is grieving me greatly. I would love to be able to go to a restaurant with my mom and to be able to tell her face to face that I love her. But you know, even though I can't be with my mom, there has never been a day in my life, and I can say that quite literally, there has never been a day in my life where I doubted that my mother loved me and cared for me. I remember one instance in particular. I was a 15-year-old boy, and I was driving my 10-speed home from a friend's house, late for supper, and was pedaling as fast as I could, standing up on the pedals. To this day, I really don't know what happened, but I can remember flying over the handlebars and over the front wheel with my hands stretched out and landing on the pavement in a big crash. I remember trying to get back up and thinking, I'm a little tired. I think I'm going to lay down here for a while. I don't remember how much time passed, but our neighbor came by in his pickup truck on his way home from work, and he saw me laying in a heap, and he put my bike in the back of his truck and helped me get into the cab and drove me home. He offered some rags to put on the cuts that were bleeding. I got home and was quite a mess, and my mom took me to the hospital. I needed stitches in one of my knees, and it just so happened that day that I was wearing corduroy pants. And when I went over the handlebars, my leg must have caught in something right on the inside of my knee, because it was a huge, deep cut. And when it happened, the material all frayed and went in the cut. And I can remember laying on the bed in outpatients as the doctor with a pair of tweezers pulled out those pieces of my pants one at a time. I probably have felt worse pain, but up until that point in time, I couldn't imagine anything hurting any more than that. My mom stood beside me and she said, "Here, Stephen, squeeze my hand." I squeezed so hard, I'm surprised that I didn't break any fingers and that she herself would need a cast afterwards. At the sight of the blood, at the sight of the deep cut, and at the sight of her son in pain, my mom showed her love and care for me as she stood beside me during that whole time. Mom, thank you for your love and your care for me throughout my life. Your care reminds me of a passage of scripture from Isaiah chapter 66, verse 13. And it says, "As a mother comforts her child, so will I comfort you, and you will be comforted over Jerusalem." As I think about a mother's care, it causes me also to think about God's watch care over you and me. We live in difficult times as we struggle with this pandemic. We miss our face-to-face interactions with our friends. But in this passage of Scripture, God reminds us that just as our moms have cared for us and loved us, so too He cares for us and will not leave us in the midst of the struggle with COVID-19. He walks beside us. He helps us. He strengthens us. He protects us. And He comforts us. As we celebrate Mother's Day, I want you to look toward the heavens and not only thank God for your moms, but I want you to thank God too for His watch care over you. May God bless you, and may God keep you safe.